All right. So before that last break, you were saying that we are the greatest thing in the universe, which, like I said, is the most arrogant statement I've ever heard you
Okay.
make before. This is the first time you've ever said anything like
Okay,
that.
and again, I mean we, because you can look at things in different systems. We, as in all life, is the greatest thing in the universe.
We as all life.
Yeah.
So not just us, but even cockroaches.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we get a chance to interact with the universe. But, and observe it. Then again, we actually are the universe, so technically we are not separate from the universe, we are the universe. So to say we are the greatest thing in the universe is somewhat not true because we are the universe, so the universe is the greatest thing because it is the only thing.
We are the universe?
Yeah.
Define that.
Every single part of us belongs to a collective system in which we define
But
the
you
universe.
also made the statement that without us, without an observer, the universe doesn't exist. So therefore, if there is no observer, the universe doesn't exist, which means we don't exist.
Yeah, because we can only define things in our intelligence. Like, we can only define things how we understand them. So go back to, the question I guess you asked was, so you think we are all the greatest thing in the universe?
Yes, that was
I did
the
say
first
that,
question.
and I wanted to say that is the only instance in which we can be,
But like I said, once again,
that's the only situation in which we can be arrogant. Because
But
I
wait.
don't even think it's defined as arrogance. To understand one's origin is to understand oneself. So, if you understand what you came from.
But wait, we are the greatest thing in the universe was your statement.
Yes.
Supernovae, not so great.
But
without supernovae, there would be no us.
The reason I made that statement is because potentially we can be in the universe has no concept of time because it doesn't think as far as we know. When I said we are the greatest thing in the universe.
But you're applying consciousness to the universe with a statement like that.
I'm suggesting it artistically.
Yes.
I'm not actually saying the universe has a consciousness. I'm saying the result of what we see in the universe is intelligence, is an intelligent result.
Which goes to your other comment
And
about an observer needing to be there in order for the universe to exist.
No, logically it is an intelligent result because we are here to say it's intelligent. So, it matches up. We assume because something is intelligent, it needs to have, a creator or something. But it's intelligent because we are here. We are a result of billions of years of interactions.
So is that an argument for fictionalism?
I don't know the construct.
For example, fictionalism in math is the idea that numbers only exist because we have caused them to exist. Like if there were 6 dogs, there's only 6 dogs because we're there to count them. Really, there's just dogs.
Because existence is defined by us?
Yes, that sounds exactly what you're saying here.
Yeah. That's why this subject is argued.
So really,
that's why this subject is argued so much.
So really,
I can only say as much as an observer. Without myself, I can't actually view the universe.
So you believe that the universe only has rules because we have ascribed them rules. That without us, rules wouldn't necessarily exist. They would just be there.
I'm just saying the understanding of the universe is expanded because there's intelligent life somewhere in the universe. And chances are, because the universe is so big and that there may be even more universes, odds are that eventually one of them will create life. And here we are to say or ponder those things. So, we are the greatest thing in the universe. I say that because a supernovae may be amazing. And just so you know, we all came from supernovae, which is a super imploding, exploding star. It basically gets to iron, which, I forget something about it absorbing too much energy. It's like, once you hit that, for some reason, the atomic number of iron, it's just one of those random things that, it causes a star to explode if it's big enough. So, I'm saying we're the greatest thing in the universe because, a supernovae can't observe itself. It can't observe its impacts on its surroundings. And so it's the greatest thing in the universe because and that sounds arrogant, but it's the only situation in which arrogance is accepting of one's existence. I'm arrogant and I'm proud of my origin and my surroundings because it defines who I am in respect to the universe. Because
So-
I have potential to change aspects of the universe.
So greatness by you is prescribed by consciousness. Without
Yes,
consciousness, you're not so great.
That is the best way I can define the universe, and it is. And I have to admit that it's hugely biased because I cannot think outside the box of human intelligence or outside of any intelligence. Because you have to be intelligent to observe the universe. Now, I want to go to the second question, which was, and do you think the universe, or do you want to
You
say
think
that?
the universe needs something to? All right. You think the universe needs an observer in order to exist? No, do you mean to exist as concept? Which I hope is
as
what you
concept,
mean.
because
Okay.
universe.
Well, then I totally agree with that.
In order for something to exist, and existence is a human term, but in order for something to be, it has to be.
I hope it's a human term.
It has to be
that is
observed or
all-
interacted with. And as far as humanity or all of life, we interact with our surroundings, and we prove that the universe exists. Now, even down to an atom bumping into another atom. The atom by itself, well, actually, there's subatomic particles. So go to the smallest particle, which might not even exist. There's like waves, and apparently the universe flows at a certain frequency, like a sound wave, but not really. It's like string theory. It gets really funky. But I mean,
But you are.
let's just go down to the atom. The atom itself couldn't exist unless something else interacted with it to prove its existence. So basically, existence is because something has interacted with a being, an area, a space, space-time, a being.
being.
Yes, existence. I mean, these are all human terms, but like,
Of course, they're human terms. We're not aliens.
as far as I know, we have the greatest understanding of the universe. There may be other life, intelligent life, or other, yeah.
You mean it's the greatest understanding of the universe on this planet so far?
Because understanding involves intelligence.
Right.
Interactions are just, there is information in every single interaction. Because like when you interact with something, it's not like the system disappears. Every part of the universe is a system. So one atom hitting another atom leaves information on both atoms, and their future was dependent on that. Their future is defined by that moment. So existence is proven by our interactions.
Okay.
Or by
If
existence interactions. I mean, like, we're all one system, but
That's also kind of it exists because we can all see it.
yeah, there's a cool theory that like the universe only exists because we perceive it as so. And I mean, truth is it would exist without us.
Well,
There would just be no one
it would exist.
to think about it.
You have to be careful when
It
you
would
make
have
that
to-
kind of claim.
Oh.
Can you back that up, that it would exist without us? I mean, that's why there are different philosophical thoughts. There's realism, there's fictionalism.
Yeah.
I mean, these are real constructs.
Well, within fictionalism, if I have to go across the same way of thinking as that, then I would have to say that we're not living in the same universe that we're living in. Because in our minds, we understand the universe is completely different. So basically, we're living in our own world inside of our head because we perceive the universe as differently as reality. I mean, as realist as we try to be or try to get to, as we try to get to the reality of it, we have no idea what universe we're living in, and it is self-created. So to say that the universe doesn't exist without an observer is totally true because it wouldn't exist without us observing it.
But
at least our universe.
No. I see. I have
Something would exist, but
I
with no one to
argue-
observe it, then there's no one to
I
prove
would
it.
have to argue from another point of view, just the fact that I believe it would exist without us. It may not exist as concept. I mean, because we label
Yeah, that's
things
what I
as
meant by the
concept.
intellectual part.
Yeah.
And that's why I went back to the atom interacting with another atom, because there is logic there. There is not logic, there is information there, and it proves itself.
Right.
And again, those are from human ways to prove things, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Once again, that goes to.
I truly don't think that the universe would just poof disappear if all of a sudden we lost our ability to perceive it. It would disappear for us on a one-on-one basis. That's what happens when we die. Well,
Are you sure that's what happens to us?
I don't know what happens after we die, but the moment of us dying, the universe as we know it disappears, it fades, because the brain...
But only for us.
The brain is how we perceive our universe, and therein where our universe lives.
But only for us.
Our brain actually lives in the entirety of the universe.
But you still exist, just not in a conscious state. Like, your body doesn't just poof out of existence.
Yeah, because, I mean, we try to find spirit and consciousness. We know... Spirit and consciousness. We know that when somebody dies, a corpse does not have a person in it. We know that it's absent of a person. It's just a body, and we know that it's just a body.
Do we? Yeah, I'll ask you to justify this.
Through observations. Our definition, you're going outside the definition. Our definition of a body, it's like without a mind. So we know that the person's no longer there anymore.
Alright.
I mean, and when you have severe case, like any outliers in evidence helps you actually prove what you're trying to prove. But like, I mean, there was this one case that really fascinated me about a man who awoke like 40 or 50 years after a coma, and it astounds every doctor's understanding or every scientist's understanding of consciousness, because, I mean, like, it didn't come back entirely, but people doubted that it would come back at all, and at least part of the man who died is still there to recognize, and it's a really weird and it's really sad. It's actually a sad story. I forget the man's name, but
Gregory Schumacher.
Because you don't know if the body, because the body was kept alive, but you don't know if the body is just going through the same impulses that were constructed by the brain through development. Because like in our brain, every time you practice or every time you have a thought, a neuron gets stimulated. A neuron gets stimulated, and a path, like a physical and a metaphysical. Well, not metaphysical. A physical path in the brain gets strengthened, and so we are more likely to go down a path of thinking.
Yes, because our brain...
And this leads to another topic which I'm not going to get into, but like how much free will do we actually have if it is all decided by the brain?
Do we have free will?
Yeah, that is a huge question. Do we have free will?
According to Sam Harris, consciousness in general is the observer.
The observer.
And they construct a story off of the brain having already decided things.
Yes.
It sounds pretty sound in theory at least. And like I've read only part of it. Like I haven't actually like read the whole, like his whole book on it.
Yeah.
But I have heard him give a lot of talks and it sounds pretty solid. But the fact is that as you consciously continue to construct things, then your brain will continue to make patterns that tend to follow what your consciousness would normally think.
Yeah, in acceptance to your worldview. If it's not accepted by your worldview, you either change or you reject the idea. So I would have to say to that, like, because I'm not going into that topic, I'm just going to go into it a little bit, like,
Would you
I would say whether
such a thing as free will?
I would say whether it is a self-created illusion or whether it is really there, it doesn't matter because we believe it, and what we believe is reality. So
stop.
Whether
not true.
No,
not true. Just because we believe something doesn't make it reality. We can believe all we want that
No.
the world is flat. The world is still not flat. Period.
I tend to look things from ground up. When I say reality, I do reality by one person, reality by multiple people, reality by all people, reality by everything in the universe.
But your problem with that alone is that person's reality isn't real.
You can only define things within the system.
But their perception of reality isn't real.
It totally is real.
No, it's only real to them.
Which makes it real.
No.
It proves itself. Charles.
Define reality for us.
It's independently, one by one, people's worldview.
That's reality?
Collectively, it can get better and closer to reality. I'm not saying it's imperfect, but I'm saying
Wait.
No, I'm saying it's right and it's a wrong at the same time.
Perhaps you're misusing the term reality for perception?
No.
Okay. Go on.
Because remember I said existence is in the mind.
Is it?
Yes.
Alright.
Because we define our own existence.
Do we?
Inside of our mind.
Do we?
We define the rules that help us define the rules.
So you agree with Rene
The
Descartes?
brain invented itself. We invent ourselves. We create ourselves in our own brain.
But we don't create the world.
We create the world within our brain because the world is part of us.
Okay.
It's self-created within our own brain.
So you would agree with Rene Descartes?
I do not know the world outside my brain.
So you agree with Rene Descartes when he makes the statement, the only way that we know that we exist is because I think.
Yes, I think therefore I am.
Therefore I am, Rene Descartes.
Mm-hmm.
That's his whole premise. Is that I don't need to prove myself to you because here is where it's all proven.
Yeah, so I'm saying reality is a person by person. It may be strengthened by our interactions with other people's concept of reality.
And you know,
Again, we defined reality, so I'm allowed to use it to define one's own reality.
You're welcome to define whatever. There's no necessarily agreement on what reality truly is.
What was I trying to grasp upon?
How the brain creates its own reality.
Whether or not we. What was the big question that I said I wasn't gonna delve into, and now I'm delving
Consciousness and free will.
Oh yeah, the idea was whether we actually have free will or not, and I said overall we do, because whether it's an illusion or whether we realistically as an outside of our own brain, realistically have free will or not, it doesn't matter because we believe it, and so it is real. But
I still.
unless the only let me just, because you keep getting really confused, and I don't know how to define everything that's in my head, but let me say the situation in which, if reality is an illusion, we could prove that we don't have free will, is if we knew everything. If we knew everything, and in that case we might not actually need will because we just know how to use things. But if we knew everything, then we would know every interaction that led to. We would know everything in advance. We'd be able to predict the future, and that means every single thing in the future.
Where I'm getting confused though isn't that
I have to tie back to, because the idea that we may not have free will means our everyday actions, like our ability to choose between milk and orange juice,
is a firing of your brain prior to you actually getting it.
Yes, the brain tells us to do it before we do it, and the brain is a part of us, and it is a part of our body.
But are you really
physically
thinking it, or is your brain having already fired and then you have the thought?
That's an argument between subconscious and conscious, which are also human-made ideas. But someone suggested the idea that we just have our brain are just radio, picking up radio signals and being told what to do by outside source. And I said like maybe a program or that simple, but I said it, to me it doesn't matter because the observer believes they have free will. So again, it doesn't matter, but you still want to know whether or not you're controlling your life or not, because it gives the satisfaction of living.
But to me, it sounds like you're giving more power to the observer than the observer truly has.
Well, I mean,
you're almost justifying.
We actually look at animals as if they have no free will, and I would suggest that they do have free will.
I would
we think they are driven
but
basically by instinct, and we are majorly driven by instinct because we are animals as well.
But that's not what I mean, though. What I mean is, you're saying that their reality is what they observe. But the fact is, that's not reality. I might believe you to be this homicidal maniac and turn you into the cops. Does that make you a homicidal maniac? No.
Those stories combined give a better understanding of what may be. I'm saying when you add on, it's like how our knowledge advances. Right now, we have the best way of defining our surroundings and everything we know. But in the future, we'll have a better way. Does that mean right now I'm wrong? No, it means I'm just not totally accurate.
Right. It's like the quote from Isaac Asimov.
It builds upon itself.
When he had a person criticize somebody who believed the Earth, or believed that they didn't understand what they were talking about. And Isaac Asimov said, we used to think the world was flat. Then we learned that the Earth was round. Then we learned that the Earth is really an oblate spheroid. Does that make the people who thought the Earth was round any completely wrong?
Yeah.
No. All right. So, what do you want to say in the last couple of minutes?
Well, this whole rant, you guys all probably think I'm like really high or something. I know, I just have these
I
thoughts
promise you he's
all
not.
the time. I was just trying to understand self, what humans are good at, me being a human, and what we're bad at. And that would help me understand.
But I don't believe you're a human, so you're not a human.
Oh, you think I'm a human? That would help me better understand what,
Come on.
understand the universe. To understand self is to understand the universe. Understand the universe, understand self, because we are part of it. So, just trying to understand what I'm missing out of the big picture and what I have to understand the big picture. Comments, if you guys would like to comment, that would be greatly appreciated. Because again, with your understanding of the universe and my understanding of the universe, we get a better understanding of the universe, and that's awesome. Because we live here and exist here.
I don't.
He doesn't, but yeah.
All right. Ooh, I hope it saved.